Residents of the sector's neighborhood District 13 continue to be annoyed by the poor condition of the access road. As a result, they block the vehicular passage while demanding to be heard by the departmental administration and that a solution be found to the situation they are going through.
People have had enough. These neighborhoods have been suffering for many years because of the problem of the road number 13. This road is currently in total oblivion. The government has not stopped the problem. We have a huge problem. Here, there are people who are sick because of the accidents that have occurred because Veolia built the sewage system and left many holes, in addition to the permanent damage caused by the heavy trucks that come to carry water. We have a damaged road, and here the vehicles do not want to enter to make a trip, not even the motor taxis. The community is really tired of the fact that this road has not had enough attention from the government. So much so that if you take a look, you will notice that the road is in a deplorable state, and more so in these rainy seasons. The solution that the government said is to use a motor pump to drain all the water that was there and transfer it to the leveler. What kind of solution do we want? We want that at least the material that is going to be poured is a material that is only sand and not mud, because otherwise it will be damaged again, and that is to be compacted with a bulldozer. The first solution is to respect the community. I think it is a lack of respect for all of us who are here in the community of Ciudad Paraíso, Lax Bight, and Morris Landing. We have been putting up with the same outrage for more than 2 decades.
The interim governor, Luis Villarda, visited the site and spoke with the community and made commitment to them.
We are going to make some corrective maintenance adjustments to the road that is obviously in bad condition. These works are going to start now with the vector to do a drying where the holes are. Veolia is also committed to cover some interventions that were made and also adapted in the best possible way.
According to the inhabitants of the sector, the blockade will not be lifted until government complies with what was agreed during its visit to the site in the morning.
Several acts of intolerance were registered in different sectors of San Andres during the weekend. In this regard, the Departmental Hospital reports the admission of an injured person.
The Departmental Hospital yesterday admitted an injured person with a stabbing weapon. Dr. Erica Palacios indicated that the health personnel of the entity provides care to the patient who is in the ICU after being operated.
Anoche ingresó un joven de aproximadamente 27 años de edad.
Last night, a young man of approximately 27 years of age was admitted with a complicated precordial wound caused by a short stabbing weapon, who underwent urgent surgery and was immediately transferred to the intensive care unit. He is currently in the first 24 critical hours under strict monitoring.
The authorities are carrying out the corresponding investigations. On the other hand, during the weekend, residents of the Orange Hill sector report gunshots, as well as residents of the San Luis sector in Huffy. At the closing of this broadcast, the National Police in the department has not issued confirmation regarding these facts.
And in other news, the Secretariat of Public Services and Environment announced that the expansion works of the sanitary sewerage of District 1, 2, and 3 have been resumed.
Throughout the departmental water plan of the archipelago, the project to expand the sanitary sewerage networks of District 1, 2, and 3 was given. The head of the Office of Public Services and Environment, Maria Velez, explained the reasons for which the suspension of the work was initially submitted.
The suspension of this work was due to the need to include some sections not contemplated in this process, which was evidenced in the growth of some users to be connected, where some buildings that were not initially included in the project were being indicated and that are now included. In this way, we can increase the number of users that will be connected and benefit from the sewerage system. Also, within this network expansion project, the sewerage system of Antioquia Avenue will be expanded, which requires a connection with the existing sewerage system with the Providence Avenue for the swamp-grown sector that does not have sewerage, and both belong to District 2.
The project to expand the sanitary sewerage networks in District 1, 2, and 3 with the goal of reaching a coverage of 2,998 beneficiaries.
The Collective Action Program continues to carry out community outreach campaigns.
This time, the Collective Action Program came with a deworming and vaccination campaign to a sector of the island.
En el sector de Nixon Point
We did a session in the sector of Nixon Point. The Collective Action Plan is in charge of those campaigns, and likewise its organization. We are being supported by the local government. With these campaigns, the idea is to reach the community and set up deworming for their children, taking advantage of this work and getting them vaccinated. In addition, to raise awareness on the issue of water, human consumption, tanks, cisterns, vector control on the water to prevent dengue, and furthermore, it is to deliver condoms and to provide training on how to use them, how to store them, tax on ITC and rapid HIV test, and results are delivered immediately.
The next event to be held will be a Day of Healthy Mobility on October 2nd on the Newell Avenue. Likewise, on October 8th, a solid waste collection day will be held in the Schooner Bight sector.
And in other news, the institutions of health sector continue their work to achieve the immunization of inhabitants of San Andres. This is how during the weekend vaccination sessions against COVID-19 were carried out.
During the weekend, the COVID vaccination coordination developed sessions aimed at both adults and young people between 12 and 17 years of age, making application of the first and second dose in order that islanders complete their vaccination schedule.
With young people between 12 and 17 years of age, we managed to vaccinate 180 young people between Saturday and Sunday. During the course of this week, we have developed a session in San Luis from 8 in the morning until 7 in the evening at Father Jose Parish, Estrella del Mar. The idea of this session is to have accessibility to all those young people who are studying or those older populations who have not yet completed their scheme.
The COVID vaccination coordinator indicated the days, sectors, and schedules for the next vaccination campaigns.
On Wednesday and Thursday, we will be in the Central Park of Guinea Hen, also in a continuous schedule from 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m., so that they can come for both first and second doses. With respect to young people between 12 and 17 years old, we still have approximately 350 biologicals in stock to vaccinate this population. We will be vaccinating with Pfizer while stocks last.
In this way, people who have not been vaccinated so far are invited to come out and start their vaccination schedule.
A job fair for the tourism sector is being held today at the Sena. This will be a continuous session throughout the day.
This job fair is held in commemoration of the International Tourism Day, which is being commemorated today.
Es un día muy especial, estamos en conmemoración del Día Mundial.
It is a very special day. We are celebrating World Tourism Day. We're a tourist training center, so in tribute to this date, we are opening a job fair for this sector, which is in great demand. Therefore, we are doing it in order to give an answer to job seekers and also to employers, while at the same time seeking to help in the economic recovery after all the difficulties we had last year.
About the available vacancies, the leader says,
En este momento estamos en una promoción específica de 23 vacantes.
Currently, we have 23 vacancies which are catered specifically to men because we want to make a differential approach and inclusion in employment. We have held fairs for women and for young people before, therefore we want to cater specifically to men this time.
This job fair will be until 4 p.m. at the regional Sena campus.
Nicaragua resumed its argument at the International Court of Justice this morning. For Colombia, the hearings could be seen from 8 a.m. The neighboring country presented its arguments in the face of Colombia's intervention last week.
During Nicaragua's intervention today, the fact that apparently Colombia on 9 or more occasions has violated the sovereign rights of its country by not allowing transit, surveillance, and inspection in the area of the 82nd meridian, an area that was granted to it in the judgment issued by The Hague on November 19 of 2012. Among the main arguments Nicaragua exposed and cited some moments in which the Nicaraguan Coast Guard and the Colombian Navy communicate through radio. Following is one of the episodes.
On 17 November 2013, in an incident that occurred prior to the critical date, which I did not discuss last week, the Colombian naval frigate ARC Almirante Padilla ordered a Nicaraguan fishing vessel, the Miss Sophia, to leave what it said were Colombian waters in the location now shown on your screens, which is plainly within Nicaragua's EEZ. This is a tab PR1 of our folder for today.
The Nicaraguan co-agent also pointed out that our country, Colombia, completely ignored these clarifications and that in the arguments last Friday, the exponents did not mention anything about it.
Not a peep from the other side about any of this either. Colombia also had nothing to say about the 3 maps published by the Colombian Navy, showing the boundary with Nicaragua as the 82nd meridian, and indicating specifically that the Navy's responsibility included exercising and protecting the sovereignty and sovereign rights that Colombia claims for itself, despite the court's judgment, in all areas east of that meridian. Absolutely nothing from Colombia about these. Instead, its counsel chose to ignore them and to spend his time on a map produced by the National Hydrocarbon Agency.
And now we continue with more news that are making news in our brief news sections of today.
Police units conducted in the department an activity rapprochement with the community called Community Cookout in the neighborhood of the Cliff. The community cookout was prepared by the community of the sector with the leadership of the National Police in order to listen to the inhabitants of the sector and to develop strategies to strengthen security and citizen coexistence of the archipelago. In commemoration of the Day of the Virgin of Mercedes, a day of activities took place in the prison center New Hope, where the inmates held a queen contest that had as jury representatives of the local government as well as people dedicated to the world of entertainment within the prison. Also, entertainment activities for inmates were advanced. The Secretariat of Finance initiated control and surveillance activities in commercial establishments with the objective of verifying the legality of the products and avoid smuggling. Verification of liquors and cigarettes sold in Henski and Roskis was conducted, and it was found that they comply with the date stamp and are in good condition according to the regulations.
And in other local news, the Ministry of the Interior, through Resolution 2625 of September 23, 2021, appoints representative of workers before the Board of Directors of the Family Compensation Fund of San Andres and Providence for the period from 2021 to 2023.
The document designates José Luis Guzmán, Alexander Radamesa, Saúl Santamaría Pérez, John Alberto Humphreys Berrio, and Esther Barker Newman as the workers' representative of Cajasay. Virginia Livingston, Carlos Equir de Alba, Margarita Coronel, Angelisette Tovar Hooker, and Joannis Esther Matnish Muñoz are also designated as alternates. The resolution states that the digital documents of the applicants were received, and this is what was resolved.